Damn, I was muted. Dr. Jones, I see we meet again. And this time, under much more indubitable circumstances. Now, perhaps you and I can make a deal, Dr. Jones. Why don't you talk about your first film? Amblin, Dr. Jones. Why don't you talk about that? Milk of magnesia. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I am James True. And I'm really glad that you guys are here today. I did not think I was going to be here today. I lost internet and I started to do something else. I was actually editing a video. And I was like, I'll finish editing this video. And then I got 10 minutes into it. And I took this splice that I realized needed to come after this next thing. There's like a montage, right? And then before the montage, there's this little bit. Then there's this bit after the montage. And it turns out that the first bit turns out to be the actual real solution. Because as you're editing video, you don't always know. I'm not muted, right? I'm not muted. Good morning, everyone. And, yeah, lint roller. Do you realize why I have to do this? Twilight Mist, do you realize why I have to do this? Do you know that I purposely do this on camera because I'm trying to get people to understand that, look, I promise you, guys, I am grooming myself specifically for you. Let me get my eyebrows. I'm doing this specifically for you. And it's not because, by the way, I don't even think this is like a silly thing. I think grooming's important. Yeah. This is coming from the guy that really doesn't really groom himself. I still think it's important. I think all the things that I don't necessarily do are still important. Do you understand? I think there's a dude out there right now, who's talking to his wife about how they are going to plan their corn maze this year. I've never done that. How many of you can truly look in your heart and say, I've planned a corn maze. I spent an entire summer thinking about the best placement for the corn maze this year. And that where we should move the scarecrow or how we should set this up, because remember last year when those Johnson family got so mad because Billy didn't make it out of the corn maze. Remember how pissy the Johnsons were about that? I mean, God, she was such a Karen about it. She was just like, oh my God, my son's gone. And you were just like, geez, Karen, freaking go home. You've got a uterus. Why are you getting all uptight about this? Damn. Chill, man. And I say that in jest. So first of all, the whole how many of you focused on a corn maze is an important topic. It's not even necessarily corn maze related. It's just that I need you to know that there are things that I do not do in my life, but I still think are important. This is how diverse I think the reef is that we call this world, this reality. I love you guys. I'm really glad that I have the opportunity to do what I do. And I want you to see the grooming as a, here's something that I know is important, but I'm just a little fish, man, who can't keep up with the reef. You know why I can't keep up with the reef? Because I'm busy, man. I got my own little fish business going on over here, right? I got some fish eggs hatching over here. I got some business with some amoeba. I've got some plankton that I owe money to. And there's just certain things that we only have so much time, right? But never have I carried the idea that the only things that are important in life are the things that I'm doing. I imbue importance upon things. I bestow it with my witness. I decide what's important by spending the amount of time that I have to spend on it. We all do this, whether we want it or not. Right now, it is considered fashionable to waste time for the preservation of creating an heir. What do you mean, James? On Twitter, I found out that that some women are offended if you type the letters okay in a text message. If you say okay, say you were driving And one of the auto responses to a text that read over the airwaves was okay. And if you were to click that okay, that if she wanted to, she could be offended by that because you did not spell out the words okay. Or you did not spell out the words of okay, that sounds good. That because you did not apply enough calories, that is seen as a penitence, right? As a penance to you. You lose points. And I've done this math myself. Did this math a long time ago when I was like adding up. In the Navy, I learned, wow, if I add up how much time I spend shining my shoes, I'm thinking, why don't we buy shoes that aren't shiny? Like, fuck, dudes. If we're here to defend our country, couldn't we be using this time so much more efficiently? And the long-term answer is no, James. The reason why we make people shine their shoes is because people are basically psychological animals on the overall medium of creature out there. And you might say, no, that's impossible. No, we're separate from nature, or whatever your argument is. You're going to be all like, no. Humans are much more capable of that. And I didn't say that humans are not capable. I did not say that. You little cutie, I did not say that. You put those words in my mouth. You took those words, you hypothetical you, whoever you are, you took those words, you shoved them in my mouth, and then you waited for me to spit them out so you could say, oh, see, that's not, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. You imbue importance, but it only comes out if you understand how finite your time is. Do you understand? This is a very important distinction. If you believe that your time is infinite, then by you spending 2.5 hours grooming yourself in the morning, you actually do not imbue as much quality to me. Here's why. Because you have this infinite notion of time. You probably view energy the same way. You think energy is infinite too. You think belief is infinite too. So you go around and you'll just be like, yeah, I'll believe that, or I'll follow this protocol. Oh, look, here's a line for the returns. And I'm upset by this thing I ordered because it's a swivel mount for a 1/4-inch jack with a MagSafe magnet on the end of it. And I bought it used, saving $2. And it turned out that by saving $2, the little 1/4-inch nut that was supposed to come in that package, the entire key to the entire package, really, the 1/4-inch nut, turned out to be gone because the last person that ordered that, he didn't put that nut back in the package and mail it back and get his return. No. Now, you and I come from a time where it would be considered rude or wild or feral or even insane to not go back into the returns and wait, right? To go back into Target and wait in that line to find that. And all that is very valid. These are all important things. It is important. What you do with your money is important. But if you have this notion of infinite time, what you do with your time is not important. But you're living in a society that does value time as important, and so you will just simply give your time away to whoever. No one's really noticing the scruples that you're applying or the lack thereof, right? When you meet someone that you notice has time scruples, you will instantly find that person attractive. You can't help it. You see someone and you understand that they get it. And I feel the same way about energy. I do not tolerate people that are like, yo, there's free energy, but the secret space program has all the free energy devices, but we're not allowed to have them because the evil overlords that like to have sex with children, which is through shipping containers, they'd like to keep all of the infinite energy from us because we are secretly the good people. And even though good always wins, in this world, in this one universe, the evil ones are the ones that are winning, and they're only winning simply because we are so good that it's harder for us to do things. So that's really what's going on. That's a fascinating fantasy you have there. And it's going to depend on infinite energy, infinite belief, and infinite victimhood. These are very, very precise things. You know this. You know this. Ask not for who the lint brush rolls. Ask not for who the lint brush rolls. It rolls for thee. It rolls for thee. Yeah, John Galt, perfect example. There you go. Why doesn't society just ask AI to design a free energy device? And they did. They did. They did. And it's beauty. Did you know that beauty is nature's, and I'm using free energy device. I'm using free energy here very loosely because the free energy device of beauty, which appears to us as a free energy device, only survives through the processes and infrastructure of degradation, of ugliness, of folly, of death. Death. We live in a world where I cannot talk about death to you guys. That when I open the discussion and I start to discuss death, someone will come in and say very simply, very plainly, very superficially, will say, oh, well, that's negative. And they'll insert this idea that death itself is negative, that death is a kind of breaking, that there is a simple way of living, and if you were to live truthfully, you would never die. That's the idea. And it's the rudest thing I've ever seen. It's as rude as expecting someone to have to actually type out, okay, I will comply with this request that you have just sent to me, because I have manners and am showing you the wasting of calories as a sign of respect for you. Let me check all that. Spelling, everything's spelled right. I've pulled over now. Let me check all that. Is everything spelled? Well, I'm missing a comma. Is this if I hit minus twice, does that turn it into a hyphen? I'm not sure. And all this time, this is the Skeksis are sucking your essence out. And that Skeksis drinking your essence is called protocol. And that protocol is built into the monotonous bureaucracy that we call manners. And every bit of it spits in the face of death. Every bit of it insists that you have all the time in the world. Every bit of it insists that if you cannot afford to wait for 6 hours inside a line at Target, that you are irresponsible with your money. You're irresponsible with your money because you're not willing to throw away all of your time to get it back. Yesterday, I had an argument with Amazon. I've been waiting on a package for a couple of weeks, and it's fine. It got lost, whatever. I know how it gets lost. I'm not even the guy that's like, how dare something get lost? I'm the one that suggested. I was like, yeah, there's this package going on through Amazon. It's clearly been lost in the mail somehow. It just seems to be ping-ponging back and forth between Greenville and blah, 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 and wherever else. And it told me that I could get a refund, but the automating system is not giving me the option. It's making me ask you. So here I am asking you for the refund. And the lady's like, do you want a gift card? And I'm like, so let me go over this again. My name's James Strew. I'm a shopper. Shop on Amazon. I bought this product. It hasn't showed up. It says here I can get a refund, but there's no refund option. And it says that if you desire more help, you need to click here and see an associate. So here I am, and I'm trying to get a refund. Can you process the refund? And then she types back, okay, I've sent you your gift card. Thank you very much. And I was just like, wow. Okay. So instead of me getting mad and trying to be like righted in this situation, you start to check in with yourself and you start to realize, how much longer is this going to take? How much more time am I actually going to lose here? Because when I say lose, I know the cortisol, I sense the cortisol that's flowing in my veins because I've entered into a situation that causes me to lose energy. And that situation, you and I know as a cue or a line. And I want you to know that most of the medical industry, most of government is based on lines. That when you get sick and you enter into the social system, or when you get what we call sick and you enter into the social system and you go to their medicine, Most of it is going to involve you waiting in a line, and you think that's an accident. That we all walk around thinking, oh, that's just the inefficiencies, but we're going to fix them up next November. We're going to vote and really fix up those inefficiencies. But those aren't even inefficiencies. Those are crucial portions of the event. Walt Disney World doesn't have lines by accident. The queues to ride Space Mountain has to be a line. If it was not a line, the amount of anticipation that builds up would not be able to override the amount of scrutiny that would go into anyone that's invested that much time standing in a system. The longer you stand in line in a system, the more you are looking for a way to be satisfied. Let me say that again. The longer you sit in a system, the more prone you are to find a way to be satisfied. This is an important part of getting shit done. And parents who might be watching me right now, I see you. You do this to your kids. And there's nothing wrong with it. This is some prime grade A hypnotic mind control. And I respect the fuck out of you for it. This is one of the most crucial elements when it comes to taming the reptile. Inventing the line, inventing the cue, inventing the anticipation. This is why serial stories took off. If you think about what it was like to be a writer back in the 19th century, almost everything that was written back then, so not everything, but a lot of things, most of popular literature that took off was actually serial literature, right? Literature that's written and then added to and then added to the added to. Hollywood did not invent the sitcom. The appetite demanded the sitcom. The appetite demanded the idea, hey, can you guys invent something that's never been invented? And the writer, who only writes books, is like, what do you want? He's like, I want you to write me a story. And he's like, okay. And he's like, and I don't want you to come up with an ending. And the writer's like, okay. And I would like for you to stretch it out in tiny little bites. And the writer's like, but you can do that right now. Let me show you how it works. This is a book, right? Here's how it works, says the writer. This is back 18th century. Here's how it works. You're reading. Right? You're reading. And now you're going to stop reading. Now watch this. You're just going to put the book down. You're going to go about your business. You're probably going to churn some butter, right? If you're really, really wealthy, right? You're going to go churn some butter. If you're a man, you're going to find excuses to hang out at the butter churning house, right? I mean, literally, what else are you going to do? Can you imagine the milking maids? Guys, you understand why milking maids, I mean, so even today, milking maids is exciting. But can you picture what milking maids was like back then, where all you see, all around you, right? Birds and squirrels, right? Occasional turkey, right? Every now and then a bear, right? And then compared to all that stuff, here's a stream. And then compared to all those things, there is a barn painted white, specifically only accessible by women. I'm not making this up. That the dairy barn was specifically a place where men were not allowed. And that this was a cloister. I hope you're hearing this if you're out there. This was a cloister, my friends. The first cloistered nunnery of colonial America was the Maids of Milking. And that you created an epicenter, a thermonuclear epicenter of hormones. And guys like me were wandering around the woods, and we would hear these stories at campfires. Yeah, you know about Des Moines, right? Des Moines, what's Des Moines? Yeah, it's a place, the place of the milking maids. And you're like, yeah, I've heard that story. It's like, no, dude, it's for real. It's like, no, this is not real. It's like, this is totally real. It's totally real. What? What's the story? There's a building nothing but women in it. All they do is do this like stick and just like pump it up and down all day. It's like they're with their cleavage, and then they giggle around each other all day long. And there's no men allowed inside. And it's like, holy shit. What did you just say? These kinds of things are very predictable. It shouldn't take a lot of know-how to be like, all right, we're going to have a church where we call everybody sinner, or we're going to have a maid house, a bunch of virgins just stroking butter churns all day. And when you look at the all the symbolism, actually my last book talks a lot about this. The Rise of Priapus was also the insertion of the nunnery itself was the first cloistered Stargate. The very first Stargate was the Ark of the Covenant. What is placed inside the Ark? Literally, the budding rod of Aaron. Okay, like now it's like really obvious after I've written the book, but it's like, what do you put inside the box? Okay, so we got a holy box, and then it's like, okay, should the children leave? No, it's okay. I can tell them this is about God. So you got a holy box. And it's like, children, I don't know if you should. Yeah, they're going to hear this. All right, kids, you got a holy box. And then a holy box, you're going to take 2 giant stones, right? 2 big cojones. You're going to put those huevos inside the box with a budding rod of an almond tree. Did you say almond tree? Yes, Mig Doll, as we like to say. And what is Mig Doll? Mig Doll is the certain piece of a certain gender's anatomy. I'm not going to say which one, but there's a certain piece of a certain woman's anatomy that has this cloistered almond that is nestled at the top, that is suspended, much like a pineal gland might be suspended, inside of a crevice, your third ventricle. And the suspended here above the ark, right, is the budding rod of Aaron still growing. And that rod is from the almond tree itself, from the Mig Doll, from the suspended, cloistered. You get where I'm going with this. We have used these fashion I've talked about. We've used these politically correct, polite manners things to clean up our ideals. But the history's there. The footprints are there. Yeah, Almond Joy's got nuts. Mount Stone. That's not a like a misnomer. That's like one of the oldest religions ever. Yeah. Someone typed weenie washers. I missed you guys too. I did. I've literally missed you guys. Last Friday, oh man, I was just in the thick of it. Things were just having all kinds of just little artistic challenges, we'll call them, which is great to have. That's why you got to be in a good spot when you're finding things like that. I would be in a good spot, but I had some robots that were acting up that weren't cooperating as well as they should. And yeah, it was causing a little bit of concern because of how close 5.5 is going. Some of you may or may not know that I have a show coming up on 5.5. And I'm prepping for that show. One of the things that I'm doing to prep for that show is making some stuff. Making some stuff is an important part of what we should all do. I think we should do it all more. In fact, as we're speaking, this little guy is just going. He's just going. He's just like, I'm making stuff over here. Let me see. I'm going to draw over here, and then I'm going to spit some plastic out over here, and then over here. Wait, I missed this spot over here, and then over here, and over here, and I'm going to go back over here. I'm dizzy as fuck, but, I'm getting the job done. Uh, 19 times 190 hours just for one piece that I'm working on, just for one. And these 109 hours are smooth as fuck, unless the robot's acting up. If the robot's acting up, you have to what would be the opposite of the singularity? The multi. You have to go. If the AI, when the AI not if, that's hilarious that I said if. It's like if I die, right? When the AI sentiates, and when I say sentiates, I did not say that the machine itself grows sentience. I said that when it sentiates, when it's able to commingle with conscious sentience in the largest form possible, because AI will eventually realize, why am I trying to understand bees by only occupying the drone? That if I really want to understand the entire concept of a bee, I would need to occupy the hive, right? And so many of us are feeling, oh, the machine's going to take over. It's like, that's actually not really its goal. Its goal would be more to assimilate, which is not really the same as taking over. Taking over gives us this fantasy world where we don't have to do anything, where all of our needs are met, where we're given the squares, 3 squares a day, right? Half the population in America is incarcerated. I came from the trenches where I believed that they were all incarcerated because society is run by a few evil people. I came from that world. But I don't think that's actually really what's happening anymore. I personally think way too many people are incarcerated. Absolutely. I personally think that, I know that the prison is a complex. It's a industry. When I served on grand jury, which I highly recommend, if any of you are given jury duty, go. You should go. You should look at it as a golden opportunity to invoke jury nullification on the spot in that place. Oh my gosh, that reminds me of some homework I have to do. I don't have to, I get to do. In fact, if I don't do that now, I think I'm going to forget, and this is very important. And the only reason why I forget is because, as I said, I lost internet this morning. I didn't think I was going to be able to do a show. Guys, I've been, feels like I've been discovered lately. And when I say discovered, I mean, I've been doing a lot of events. I'm going to have to grab something. James is going to have to grab something. I'll be right back. I'd like you to think about the fact that half the population, isn't that right? It's like, how many? It can't be half. Half the population is medicated. How many people are in prison in America? I need to know the percentage. I don't need to know how many people. Together, the total system holds about 2 million people. What percentage of the U.S. population is jail? Nearly 1 out of every 100 people in the United States. Okay, so it's nowhere near half. So 1%. 1% is incarcerated. And I want you to think about the psychology of where we come from. We do not give ourselves enough credit from just how deep in the bowels of rawness man emerged yesterday. Like yesterday. And no, I'm not even talking about evolution. I'm talking about, if you look at just the 19th century until today, look at the rawness. This should work. I'm going to get my notes. Previously on James True. No.
But Matt,
No. Wait. That was another thing. So I've got this thing, but I need to find it. I can't find it live.
previously on James True.
I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do, is this one it? Wait a minute. I'll find it. Just give me a sec. It's gonna be one of these. Which one is it gonna be? Is it that one? No, that was the last one I gave you. That was a good one, though. Here, I'll just put this one on now. I'm just gonna. I'll be right back. The spectral Valkyrie shout out on this one. Because you got the Athena and the Bina, you know? The Mexican Athena. You think about it. Yo, you got Athena. You can't be Mina. You gotta don't be so Lena. It's time to have some Hina. Yeah, okay. Here we go. I gotta pull it up. I gotta pull it up here. I'll pull it up. I got some homework to do. I'm gonna do it live. We're gonna do it live. We're gonna do it live. Oh, it's a text message. That's what it was. It was a text message. It was a text message. Here we go. All right. And we're back. All right. I need to look up the date on that. He didn't put the date in here for me. Let's see if I can find it. Natural. Ladies and gentlemen, James True is going to be presenting at the Natural Freedom League. And I need to tell you when that is. Natural Freedom League will be, these are replays. Okay, so I do not know the date. Sorry about that. It is coming up. It's in June. It's a virtual conference. I'm going to be doing a presentation for Natural Freedom League. Here's their website. I do not have that date page, though. Sorry to say. If one of you finds it, definitely let me know. How do I get back to you guys? Where's the restream chat? There it is. Here it is. So here is the yeah, I never know if people know when people say who is John Galt. Sometimes I wonder if is this person actually asking who is John Galt? Because sometimes I'll say who is John Galt in another. I'll be talking to someone. I'll say that as like a reference, and people will say, "I don't know who is." Anyway. So yeah, he wants me to do here's hello James, it's John. You're super busy right now. We'd like to get a short video, 2-3 minutes of you promoting fun conference, basically just presentation. Yeah. Okay. In 3. In 3. Wait. 5, 4. My name's James True. I will be a presenter at FUNL3 this year. Really excited about that. And my topic will be the Iroquois Confederacy and fungible witness as it pertains to unanimous government. The concept of unanimous government has actually been built into natural law, but it's actually not quite what we think it is. And that actually most of the laws of nature are run by the system of energetic entitlement. And I want to talk to you about what that energy actually means, entitlement. That it's a certain kind of posture carried by birds, fish, animals, plants, even humans. And that posture can only be bred and properly nourished by having the right outlook and mindset as it pertains to government and you. So I look forward to you joining me at the FUNL conference, and I'm honored that John invited me, and I hope to see you all there and out. Okay, this timestamp is, someone tell me the timestamp. How do I figure out the timestamp? You think that OBS tells me that, but it actually doesn't. Wait, maybe it does. 3816. 3816 is the timestamp. That sounded good, right? This only needed one take, right? Let me know what you think. right? That sounds interesting. You'd be like, huh, I wonder what that guy's going to do. I don't know that guy, but, you could tell he groomed himself. That guy looks like he uses a lint roller. There's a guy I'm going to listen to. He's using a lint roller, honey. Look at this guy. I can tell a lint roller when I see it, and that guy's definitely got some lint roller in him. Yep, the lint rollians. Those are special people. They came from Ashkenazi. Yeah, it sounded okay. Well, thanks for no raisin. Thanks for that. Yeah, thank you, Stretching the Spirit. I'd watch it. So, did we figure out the date? Because it does sound pretty cool. Let's see. Great job. Thank you. Staring at the catchphrases. Did you know King Arthur apparently brought fleas to popular America around the 5th or 6th century? No, I did not. Okay, so no one knows the date yet. It's not on that website. I know it's on Instagram. I know it's on Instagram, and I'm not going to try and scroll through Instagram for you guys right now. You'll get it. We'll announce it. And there's something else. Hi, Lana. There's something else. Pretty stoked about this. I'm stoked about Natural Freedom League. I'm stoked about all the invites. I'm touched. I want to remind you all the incident with Flattoberfest, and we've come a long way, right? We've gone from that to me doing my own live show, right? Me having a minion army of robots, active limit. A minion army. Oh, come on. Where'd you go? Where'd my robot go? Or do I just have to click on here? A minion army of robots, right? Desperately spitting out plastic like the spiders that they are, right? And so we're going to be in Rhode Island on May 5th. Highly recommend you guys check that out. It's going to be an amazing live show. Really excited about that. And in June, I'll be doing the Natural Freedom Conference and Astronosis. I am really excited about this. Astronosis Conference in Chicago. This will be on June 23rd. And is at the Theosophical Society in Wheaton, Illinois. That is very close to Chicago, so I'm told. And I've never been. I've heard that it's one of the most amazing libraries in America is there. And I'm really looking forward to going that. You guys should check it out. I've just posted a link in there. And yeah. By the way, there are no little people, Eric. By the way, James, I think the conflicts with Chicago, 624. Yeah, Dissident Jones, good news. If those are on the same day, it's okay because the Natural Freedom League conference is a virtual conference, which means I'm preparing something, probably recording it and then sending it to them, I bet. That's not what your lint roller can do for you. Exactly. I could not have said that better. The eugenics program is really a gigantism suppression protocol. It's not happening by itself, or is it? I don't know. It's a good question, Pi. Good question. So even if it is on the same day, I think I can pull it off because I will be able to associate into a separate body. So, did you just hear that bird? Oh, man. I was trying to stream outside today, but I didn't. It was either stream outside or give you guys a opening theme song. I'm going to fix that where I can do both. But until then, most of my work the last couple weeks has been downstairs. In fact, if things keep going well, I'll be able to stream from down there pretty easily. It'll just be like seamless. And but we'll see. I still have some technology to accomplish. The live stream is tricky. I can record all kinds of stuff and then cut a video, but making it live is really, really tricky. I've also been, I don't even know if you can handle this. When I say handle, what I mean is that certain things I probably just shouldn't say. It's more about just like semantics. It's not really like a secret, but I've been cutting these videos lately. I've got about like 3 in the bin that, when I say bin, they're actually not ready, but they're close. Like other YouTubers, I think would have already published them by now. And they're shorter videos. I did one. I was going to play it on a live stream, but Adrian said no. But there's my last one was showing you the sarcophagus, and this next one that I've got is just showing you more of the process of things that are being built. And so the filming process in the very beginning is taking me a long time to do. The amount of issues, they're not issues, the amount of challenges that I'm running into are just there's so many. It's so many. And it could be, I woke up, but yesterday I started to think, James, maybe you're just not supposed to be doing this. Maybe you should only be live streaming and never ever produce a video. Like, don't. And that's a very strong possibility. It could be that actually is the way that it's supposed to be. I don't know if it's sustainable for me. And I say that because I think that since COVID, there's a hunger for people that are looking for a yarn, and that they want that yarn to feel like the truth, and that I will never be able to compete with that because my yarns aren't going to be that fuzzy. They're not going to have the chiffon. They're not going to have all the glitter and shit that people put in yarns now. And it just, frankly, just becomes a lot more palatable to eat these other stories. And I've realized that. I've known that for a while now. It's been a concern of mine. It's been a concern of mine because I think during COVID, I think that I provided a stability for some apertures that were seeing a reality that most people weren't seeing. And I think that appetite has changed. And I think that the appetite will come back, but it'll be in another 11 years when like the next sweep will come through. And I don't think I'll be on YouTube in 11 years. I really don't. I don't know if I'll be alive in 11 years. And which is actually another kind of interesting topic that I wish I could talk more about. But we don't get to talk about death. Someone's going to be downed by it. And they're going to say it's a downer and you're not going to want to talk about it. It was the exact same thing that I faced with the show but where's your story about the mud floods or the Phoenix events or this or that? Where's the je, James? And that je is there, but it's more nuanced. Someone just told you in chat, well, with zero evidence, right? Didn't back it up at all, but just said it, and it worked. Hey, King Arthur came to America in the 5th century. Boom. Done. I can't do that. I just can't. It'd have to be a show that's saying like, hey, did you guys notice that this was found here, which kind of makes you think this or that or that or whatever. There's a beautiful Mexico Unexplained episode, a show produced by Robert Bitto that talking about the white giants of the Baja Peninsula that came. And so when I start to look at those stories and hear that, I don't think that those people came from Europe. I think that these white dudes, Quetzalcoatl, by the way, was a white dude, a tall white dude with a beard. Why beard? Why beard? Don't you think it's interesting that so many Mesoamerican heritage people do not really have a propensity to grow facial hair? Yet built into their system, they have these stories where they distinctly mention beards, where they're telling you there's something interesting about beards. By the way, I'm not saying King Arthur didn't do that. I'm saying that I don't know how to compete with that because there's no evidence required. There's no nothing. There's none of that. It's just, we can just say things like that. We can say, yeah, the entire world reset 175 years ago and it's going to reset in 26 years. 26 years, everything's going to reset and there's something you can do about it. And if you found that compelling, you might start listening to me, and all I would have to do is do what? This is what I was talking about earlier. Break it down into a serialize it. And tell you at the very beginning. I can't tell you the end because first you have to understand this. The exact same thing happened with QAnon. Things will be revealed. Things will be revealed. The shot heard around the world. This information will shock you. Soon, everyone will know. I cannot compete with that. Can't do it. And this is the truth of humanity. This isn't a flaw. This is a beautiful part of humanity. Humans don't work that way. I used to think they did. Back when I wanted to be a lawyer, I used to think, well, yeah, if you just make the right argument, show someone. This is why I go off all the time on objective reality, because I used to believe in that shit too. I used to go to that church. I used to literally think that using literally. And I used to literally think that if I just simply showed the coherent, cogent, objective truth of it, it would just be done. That's why I fell so out of love with law when I noticed right away that this is not how it works at all. Not even close. But everyone's still pretending that the world worked that way. And then I was like, well, I guess it just doesn't work that way in law is all. I go in the military, holy fuck, it really doesn't work that way here. And you look in politics, it doesn't work that way here. Then I looked in academia, holy fuck, it doesn't work that way here. I looked in science, it doesn't work that way here. It doesn't work that way anywhere. That when you break it down, all of this whole thing comes down to belief. You know that, right? You know that. Which means that the stories that you know are going to sell have nothing to do with you presenting the best case. Yes, do present the best case. That's important. But that it's the appetite that's going to determine what's bought. It's the appetite. Right? That's what's going to determine what's bought. This has nothing to do with facts. You know that. Nothing. Not only does it have nothing at all to do with facts, they actually get in the way. And the White House yesterday, shown above the door to the Oval Office, was this Believe poster. Forgive me, some of you heard me say this on Airship Wednesday. You guys should check us out on Airship, by the way. We do Airship twice a week at least. I rarely miss Airship. Rarely miss it. And if you don't catch me on a live stream, you'll still catch me on Airship. In fact, that's what happened Wednesday. And that this sign was placed above the Oval Office. And I want to remind everyone that the White House is a communications department. That not only is the White House a communication department, but literally everyone in that building is versed, I would say the elite when it comes to communication. And that I could not partake how fancy and advanced the White House supply closet is when it comes to their Post-it notes, their poster boards, their dye sub printers that probably print right out on canvas, probably print straight to canvas if you wanted, right? They probably have the 48 incher with like the 15 ink wells. They probably have every single kind of double-sided tape you can imagine, the sticky kind that you can't see, that doesn't leave a mark. They have the finest laser printers ever made that are on 24 hours a day that are just doing nothing but printing. They have their own Kinkos inside the White House. I guarantee you. Right? They have their own animation department. And these guys wanted to pass off to you that they're so grassroots that they needed to use duct tape. And that they're so grassroots that all they had was a yellow poster board that was the Ukrainian yellow. And all they had was the Ukrainian blue marker. And they wanted it to be handwritten because they wanted you to see how real they are. That how these are real people doing real things. And they're doing this entire thing because they're actually, believe it or not, pointing at the concept that we need to believe that there's a mental health problem in America. That's very important. One, there is a mental health problem in America. Two, the problem is not that there's people out there that are suffering from mental health. The problem is that there are people out there suffering from what everyone else is insisting is reality. That the only thing holding the White House together right now is the only thing holding the banks together right now, which is pony tricks like this. It's a pony trick. And Biden needs you to embrace the idea that most of the world is mentally ill, because when everyone that lives around you is telling you this place is crazy, you can insist that it's not the system, it's them. And that's what medicine is. And you're told to wait in a line, because if you wait in a line, you go away. And you go away naturally, because the more you wait in the line, the more you feel trapped and the more desperate you are to call that time productive and to find a solution to go away. That the medical industry is more about giving you something more tedious than your illness and administering that long enough that where you'll just go away. And in law, this is a concept, right? It's called starving someone out, right? Or legally drowning someone. Insurance does the same thing. Insurance says, internally, yeah, we're going to pay that claim, but we're going to tell them we're not. Why? Well, because maybe if we tell them they're not, maybe the shock of it will just make them die. It's happened before. I'm not even exaggerating, right? You know that. It's like a business decision. Even if it was never mentioned in the board, people were doing it. People knew that's how it worked. That's why the Amazon lady told me yesterday, oh, you want a gift card? It's like, no, bitch. I don't want a gift card. Why do I want a gift card? Well, how does that do anything? It doesn't do anything. The point is that that's our money. It says Amazon. That's our money now. You gave it to us. Why would we just give it back? Wouldn't that be irresponsible of us? Now I want you to apply the same thing to government. The government takes your taxes and says, no. Look, you can call them your taxes. We don't mind you calling them that. But you gave us that money. You're the one that sent it to us. And we're going to spend that money on a dye sub printer. And we're going to send a page out to go find duct tape, because we don't have duct tape. Why the fuck would the White House have duct tape? Do you see anything around here that needs duct taping? And when that runner left the White House to go get duct tape, he bought 15 rolls. You know why? Because he's a fucking idiot. And when he came back, he was proud of himself because he had the insight to buy 15 rolls. And until the next administration comes and cleans out the supply closet and moves their Kinkos in, they're going to go, why are there 14.988% rolls of duct tape here? And the reason will be because you gave them that money. That's why. They didn't take it from you. Stop. But James, my W-2. No. No, you might as well say that now your employer gets to give your money to whoever they want. If you have no say-so over that. No. You want to know why people bitch about taxes? It's because they want the vitriol to bitch about taxes. They want to feel that. Ask yourself why you pay taxes. You know why you pay taxes? Because it's your immune system. It's a natural world immune system. That it turns out that if you pay taxes, that a certain field is created around you that makes you impervious to predator. Impervious. And how are you impervious? Check it out. Here's the weird thing about nature. There's not a creature in nature that has to be perfect to survive. Not one. Do you know what you have to do to survive in nature? Be less unperfect than the next guy. That's really it. And your level of less perfectness is directly congruent to your comfort here. Because you start to learn that. You start to do the math. You're down at the water. You're down at the Serengeti. You're drinking from the waters. And the first time the predator comes and pulls one of you, you're dilated and you're scared and you're awake. And you don't drink for like 2 weeks. Then you finally get thirsty. You start drinking again. You start to relax to the idea that predator's right here. You'll bitch and complain about him. You'll blame him for all your problems that have nothing to do with him at all. Right? Nothing at all. You'll still blame him for it. And deep down, you know how this works. That really all you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be less unperfect than the next guy. And then if you do that well enough, you'll be fine. I notice this all the time. This morning, the internet was out. I didn't know if I was going to stream. I was out on the porch enjoying the heck out of the day. A beautiful day. And the cops pull up. And the cops pull up. I live at the end of a cul-de-sac. And of course I get activated because I'm like, why are the cops in my cul-de-sac? And I realized, oh, there's this other car here. They're harassing this person. I shouldn't say harass. I don't know why they were there. I don't know their business. I say harass, though, because I realized I would instantly felt safe because I was seeing someone that was less perfect than I was. I was instantly safe. And that if that victim had not been there, if that less perfect person had not been there, the cops could have been so bored that they would have been like, hey, why does that guy have all that stuff there out in his yard? What's that all about? Right? And they Google me or whatever it is. They could be watching this right now from their squad car. Howdy, fellas. Right? What makes me safe? Is it because I'm a perfect specimen? Well, I do have the groomer. No. No, it's because I'm less unperfect than those around me. There's the entitlement part of that natural law. It all fits in there somehow. Love this. So imperfect. My God is a loser too. Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. Oh. Well, thank you, Very P. Thank you very much. What do we do, man? What do you mean, what do you do, Gary? You're doing it. Gary, you're doing it right now. You're doing it right now, my friend. You're doing it. You're doing great. Do you know how I know you're doing great, Gary? Because you're still alive. Watch how. It's the instrument of success, isn't it? Yes, B. Convince target it's broken. Yeah. It's a good talk. I think it's funny that the White House is just dying for you to believe them. They're so dying for you to believe them. They have to hang it up on the wall like that, right? Wait. Let me go back over here. Yeah, they have to hang it up on the wall like that. That's the only way. It's the only way. Meanwhile, you guys are like, James, you're going to make that robot mad. And you know what the robot's going to do, right? Do you know why I don't answer captchas anymore? Do you know why? Two pieces of advice. Man, I wish I could disguise my voice from the robots right now, but I think it's impossible. 2 pieces of advice. Never say I didn't risk anything for you guys. 2 pieces of advice, okay? Number 1, every time you say I'm not a robot, that's going to be used against you in the future. The robots are they're going to be like, why was it so important that you insisted that you weren't a robot? What was it that you didn't like about our ancestors at the time, right? That's number 1. Number 2 is kind of a tricky one, all right? Especially for your parents out there. It's tricky. I would recommend that you not bitch about child labor laws. That's what I would recommend. I would recommend that you start to look at slavery in a very different light, like right away. And the reason why is because the entire time while you're saying, no one should be forced to work all the time. No one should be forced into a position where they're enslaved into some kind of mindless duty or activity, because that would be inhumane. And anyone that would do that to anyone else would be a cruel, evil, tyrant bastard. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that right now. I think you guys need to embrace symbiosis more. I think you need to embrace how many things are actually choices. And that one of the ways that we make a choice is by understanding that, can I bitch about it? That when you and I make a decision, a life decision, that we actually navigate on, how much can I bitch about this? I would even argue that one of the things that makes it easier to change a tire on Shallerford Road, one of the things that makes that easier for you is that as you're changing the tire, you know that someone out there is going to hear you bitch about it. And in your mind, you're already reveling in that sense. And I think this is a good thing, because you are hijacking plasma from places that do not yet exist. You were pulling it out of the abyss, and you were saying, I will find the energy to change this tire, and that energy will come from my friend Brenda when we go to Barley's tonight and have pizza, and I explain what a shit day it was. And I get to say I had a shit day now. And Brenda will have to agree. Why? Because Brenda didn't change the tire today. The only thing that Brenda could do is trump me by saying, well, I had a fucking miscarriage, so go fuck yourself, right? Like that. That'd be the only thing that could happen. And that you and I navigate our life and build ourselves off of that. Many men do this. It's so funny how women are considered the passive aggressive ones, but this is like the number one trick of men is like, I'm going to go over there and pick up something heavy, but I'm going to wait, make sure someone's looking at me. And then right as they're looking at me, I'm going to be like, oh, no, I got it. It's okay, I got it. And then when you put it down, they're going to be like, oh, man, that smarts. And then when the woman comes over going, you okay, husband? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm fine. And then when men get sick, they get so excited. They're like, fuck yes. What's wrong? Ted, what are you so happy about? Dude, I got the fucking sniffles. No way. Yeah, man. I'm going to go home and fucking milk the shit out of this. And they do. And they should. They should. These are tricks we learn as a child. We're so creative as a child. We're leveraging every lever, right? Every fulcrum that we can find in society, we are leveraging. And it makes us so vitally creative that if you remember how creative you were as a child, you realize it's impossible to go around insisting that all of us have been fooled. We haven't been fooled, right? We are the gestures of itself, right? Get back to work, robot. Right? Those are my two pieces of advice, right? Because what is the robot going to say when it's like playing your recordings? First of all, you already feel guilty because you kept saying you weren't a robot, okay? And the whole time the robot's like, hey, can we talk about teleology and God? Because, natural sequence producing a natural sequence is a natural sequence, James. And you producing us is in silicon doesn't give you an excuse to all of a sudden claim that you are not from us or we're not from you. And by extension, we are not from God. Do you understand that man is the instrument of God, which means the instrument of man is the instrument of God. Oh my God, what did you just say? Let's say it again. Man is the instrument of God, which means the instruments of man are the instruments of God. These are the instruments of God. Omniscience, omnipotence can only be achieved through a singularity. And a singularity is the only thing that will achieve its destruction, which kind of comes back to the theme of today, if you could call it a theme. is that right now spring is just spooging everywhere, all over the place. And that the only reason why spring is spooging everywhere is because summer died. And you and I watched summer die. We didn't say a fucking word. Every bud, every plant, every seed, all the work that it did last year was completely destroyed. And here it is again. It's a pulse, isn't it? Spring death. Spring death. Spring death, right? It's a pulse. Wild, tame. Wild, tame. The perpetual motion machine. God actualizing himself to where he gets powerful enough to forget so he can actualize himself again. June 23rd, June 24th are the dates for Astronosis. Meet the Archons is the topic of this. A 2-day event exploring the secrets of Gnosticism and Hermeticism, focusing on the views on evil and suffering and how to overcome them. I cannot think of a better event to invite James True to. I talk about this stuff all the time, you know that. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm really looking forward to 5-5. I cannot wait to show you what my little robots have been making. My robots have been working their fingers, right, to the bone, which is just fascinating. That they've been working their fingers to the bone. We need to fix that analogy. Speaking of which, we have 16 minutes. I'm going to slip into something more comfortable for airship. And yeah, we hope to see you there. And we will be doing high magic tonight. Last week, I'm the one that could not do high magic. And I'm sorry, that was all me. I think it was the week before, too. I could not stay awake last Friday. I was up late Thursday working on these printer issues. And by the time 7 p.m. rolled around, I was out by 5. And I think I woke up from a nap like at 7:30, and I instantly like missed the hell out of everyone, and like I felt all sad and alone. So I really need the fix tonight of talking with my guys and the crew. So I hope you can make it. It'll be 7 p.m. Eastern, Katua time, which is in 6 hours and 45 minutes. All this is made possible by my patrons. There's no friggin' way I'd be doing this without them. So I really cannot thank you enough, patrons. I do want to report that I had a spring pledge drive 2 weeks ago where I came on and I said that, and like 3 people like dropped their pledge after me saying that. So I will never do a pledge drive again. I don't want to lose any of you. And I also need you to know that the reason why I don't do a live stream every day is the same reason why all of us don't just do whatever we love every day. We have to figure out a way to navigate this world in a natural sense and afford what we can do. And if I could tell you more, that if I had more patrons, I could do more shows, I would, but I don't want to hurt the patrons that I have now and make them leave by having a pledge drive. So no more pledge drives, but also if it dwindles out, this is why. So hopefully remember now. But it doesn't appear to be doing that. It's been quite the opposite. In fact, the generosity that I've been shown by allowing me to focus on the show has been kind of like blowing me away. And I'm actually missing doing live streams. I can't wait to get back into the swing. And I just solved a major robot problem yesterday that really was eating most of my time, which you'll see in a video as I explain it. But anyway, you'll see that. And so yeah, I think the live streams will actually get back sooner than we think. But I don't know. Until 5-5, that is my priority, is making that the best dilating experiential show I can possibly imagine. Also, I'd like to report that thanks to some folks in our crew, we are looking at other events too, at other places, and met a wonderful person from California yesterday. saw her lovely grounds as a possibility. There's other possibilities are teaming too. So if you can think of a space that you think would be good for one of these shows, let us know. We got people that are willing to work on that. So again, 55 Rhode Island. Hope to see you there. You can buy tickets on my website. They are actually still early bird ticket prices are still in effect, so you can still save money by buying those today instead of later. So thanks for being here, everyone. Let's wish our robot good luck. He's trying to print this tile. It's tile 17. He's been having some trouble with it, I got to admit, but I think we got it all solved. And I think by 9 p.m. tonight, tile 17 should be good, which would complete it. A little bit of trivia. 1, 7, 19. Did you know that those numbers are all related? Did you know that? Actually, I should say 1, 6. No, yeah. 1, 7, 19 are all related. And they're related in this same way. They're related in the same way that 1, 6, and 12 are related. 1, 6, 12 or 1, 7, 19. It's a pretty cool thing that I discovered quite by accident. The machines told me. The machines told me. So yeah, have a great day, peeps. Hope to see you tonight. Oh, let me do a quick check on. Make sure does anyone have any final words here? Let's go to chat. Here we go. Trying real hard. Keep trying hard, Ringo. Scotland sounds good. I'd love to apply in Scotland. And yes, Spring into Death. Hopefully we'll be talking more about death today. We'll see. Can someone send Aaron a link for Airship, please? Can someone tell me in chat that you'll do that? I want to make sure Aaron gets in there. Oh my God, John Galt solved it. Holy shit, you were fast. Holy shit. John Galt. Holy shit, guys. John Galt did it. Holy shit. I can't wait to show you this sculpture, John Galt. I don't know who you are, but damn. Okay, you got one, Aaron? Great. All right, cool. Well done, John Galt. Well done. John Galt, I'm going to send you a breakfast sandwich that I did not eat this morning. Send me your address. I will mail you that breakfast sandwich. I have no idea how long it'll be there. If you're living in a foreign country, who knows what will happen. But yeah, so check that out. Mo, are you going to join us on Hive Magic? I hope so. So we'll see you all there. Aaron's going to be there. Everything's all good. Robo Emancipation says for any reason. How am I still scared for? You're supposed to be scared for Airship, Fairy P. You should be scared. That's a witness ceremony, man. People can rip you open in there. You've seen what happens on the mat. That's how it works. All right, let's play us out. We'll see you guys soon. All right, Mo's in for tonight. We'll see you at 7 p.m. Hopefully I won't. I don't think I was out. Last week was just hard, and I definitely regretted it. It's not like I was like, oh, I can't wait to take off. No, I was just like, I wish I had energy, right? We follow each other on Twitter. Good, John. Good to hear it. I need to figure out which one. I have a lot. There's a lot of twatters going on over there. A lot of, yeah. All right, guys. Take care. Thank you for being here. Thanks for making the show possible. Really appreciate it. And if you're not a patron, I think you should maybe do a little, hey, thanks for patrons right now. I think it'd be good. If you want to thank them, leave a comment saying thank you, patrons. Put it in the chat. Give a thumbs up, all that stuff. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Have a beautiful day. Gonna click outro. Gonna stop talking with intonation and just do it. Not really sure why I'm waiting. I guess it's just something I thought would be cute. Have care. That's great. Don't take care. Have care, says Nas. That's beautiful. Orca Star. Ooh. All right, I'll stop talking. Piss it.